Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to cut and sew this trendy bubu kaftan dress. The one at the left hand side is the inspiration, and the one at the middle and the left hand side is the one I recreated. If this is something you're interested in, then keep up watching. So guys, please pay attention to what I'm about to say. Please pay attention to the neckline design because that is what I'm going to be focusing on. I already have a whole lot of tutorials on how to cut a bubu kaftan dress on my channel. So I use one method on all my bubu kaftan dress. As you can see, I've gone ahead to cut out my bubu kaftan dress already. I did intend making a tutorial of this dress. This particular dress is for a client. So I made a bubu kaftan dress for myself. I'm going to be putting a picture on the screen, and I made use of the same neckline design of this particular yellow dress on that dress. Actually make use of Ankara fabric for that. So somebody saw it on Facebook and she requested for the tutorial of that neckline. I think the person also sent me a DM or WhatsApp requesting for the tutorial of that neckline. So I'm doing the process of making this dress for a client. I just said, okay, let me make the tutorial of the neckline. So that is why I said you should pay more attention to the neckline and design. Just like as I earlier said, I already have a whole lot of bubu kaftan tutorial on my channel, so you can go and check it out. Okay, so before I continue with the neckline, I will just go ahead and explain what I have here. So the total yards I'm using for the making of this bubu kaftan dress is 3 yards. So I'm using 3 yards of crepe. You can also make use of a duchess if you want to, but this particular material is crepe. So this is what I did. I folded the 3 yards into 2. Then I wanted to fold it into 2 again, which is going to be giving me 4 pieces. That is how I normally fold my fabric when I want to make a bubu kaftan dress. The first thing I did after folding my fabric into 4 was to mark the wideness of the neckline. So I placed my tape like this and I marked 3 inches for the wideness. Then for the depth, I marked 1 inch. Okay, as you can see, I've gone ahead to cut out the neckline. So that was what I marked on my fabric. Then I also went ahead to place my tape at the middle here, the starting. Then I marked half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. And from that point, I marked 40 inches for the sleeve because this bubu kaftan dress has a continuation sleeve. Then while at the tip here, the edge here, I came down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. Then I wanted to connect it to the neckline, then cut it out. While for the wideness of the sleeve, I marked 11 inches. Okay, so after marking it, I just wanted to mark a straight line across, and that line is going to be serving as the chest line. So I placed my tape on the chest line. I divided my bust measurement by 4. I marked it. Then I added extra 4 inch for ease allowance. Then I wanted to place my tape around the shoulder line. Then I marked from my shoulder to my hip line, which is 26 inches. Then I marked it. Then I divided my hip measurement by 4. I marked it on the hip line. I added extra 4 inch for ease allowance. Then I placed my tape at the down part here, the hem side, the hem line. I divided my hip by 4. I marked it. Then I added extra 3 inches for the ease allowance. So if you want to make use of 4 inches, you can also make use of 4 inches. So after connecting the points together, I wanted to add half inch for joining allowance. Then after that, I wanted to cut it out. So I'll just go ahead and remove the inner one. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to fold this extra one so that I can cut the neckline for the front. So if you don't understand what I just explained, you can go ahead and check out my other bubu kaftan dress tutorial. You are going to understand better because that one is far slower than this. So I'm just focused more on the neckline of this because it's really going to take a little bit of time. After I was done folding it into 2 and ironing it, I will place my tape around the shoulder here like this. I will mark 16 inches downward. 16 inches. Then I will go ahead and mark a straight line across using my straight ruler. Okay, after I was done, I will place my tape on that line I just marked. I will mark 1.5 inches inward. So just go ahead and mark 1.5 inches. Then I also mark 1.5 inches over here. I also mark 1.5 inches over here like this. Okay, so after I was done, I will go ahead and connect a straight line across using my French curve like this. So after I was done, I will place my tape around the neckline like this. I will slant it like V. Can you see what I'm doing? Slant it like V. Then I will mark the depth of the neckline I want for the front part of my dress. So I will mark 9.5 inches. If you want yours to be 10, go ahead and mark 10. Then I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across. Okay, just mark it straight. After I was done marking it, I will go ahead and mark a slant line from the neckline to that 1.5 inches I marked. Not to this point, to no, from here to here. So I will go ahead and mark a slant line from the neckline to that 1.5 inch line I marked, but make sure the slant line you are marking is stopped around the depth of the neckline, which is the line you mark for the depth. So the chalk I used was not showing. Then I wanted to use my free hand to draw that black line you are seeing on it, just for me to explain it to you guys well. So after that, I'll go ahead and cut it out just like as you can see me doing. Then I will also cut out this part. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut it out. I hope you understand now. So what I'm going to be doing is to place my tape here like this. I will mark 1/2 inch downward. Then I'll come to this point. I will mark 1/2 inch as well. Then I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across using my straight ruler. So this is just me using another color of check. I just hope this show better compared to the white chalk. Then after I was done marking it, then I'll place my tape at the side like this. I will mark 1/2 inch inward. Then I'll also come to the up part. I will mark 1/2 inch. Okay, just mark it and stop it anywhere. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this with a straight ruler. Just make sure it's not more than 1/2 inch. So after I was done, I'll go ahead and mark a slant line from this point here to this point here. Okay, I'll just go ahead and connect a slant line like this. Just make sure it is slanting. Please make sure the line is not straight, or just mark it slant. Okay, so by the time you are done marking it, you're going to see that it look like a boss. Can you see it look like a boss? So I'll go ahead and cut it out like this. So after cutting it, this is how it look like. Can you see it? Yours should look like that after you are done cutting it. So I'll just go ahead and open it up like this. So by the time you are done cutting it and opening your fabric, this is how it's going to look like. Then I'll go ahead and place the back part on it. I will go ahead and join the shoulder together. I'll go ahead and sew the shoulder with 1/2 inch. Okay, so from here I will sew it with 1/2 inch. Then I'll go ahead and sew the other side with 1/2 inch as well. So guys, I've gone ahead to join the shoulder together. This is how it look like. I'll just go ahead and open it on my table like this. Can you see how the neckline look like? So by the time you are done joining the shoulder, it should look like this. So I'll go ahead and iron the joining. Okay, I will just go ahead and iron it open. I love ironing a lot. This make my work perfectly neat. So I'm also telling you guys, by the time you are done joining the shoulder, go ahead and iron it. So after I was done ironing it, I'll go ahead and pick the middle of the back like this. Then I'll make sure the shoulder are both meeting each other. Then I will notch the middle of the back. Always notch, please notch the middle of the back. Then I will just go ahead and pick the down like this. Let me turn it like this so that I can measure what I want to measure. So I will turn it like this. So I will just go ahead and measure from the middle of the back like this to the end of the front. Okay, I mean to the 60 inches I marked around the front, this point here. So I'll measure what I have here. So what I have here is about 20 inches. As you can see, I have about 20 inches. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out the front neckline design. So for the front neckline design, I'm going to be using this ashoke. So you can also make use of any material of your choice. The first thing I'm going to be doing is to fold it into two like this. After I was done folding it, I will go ahead and measure what I have here. So what I have here is about 21.5 inches, right? So remember, after I was done taking the round neckline, what I have was 20 inches. So I'll go ahead and make use of 21.5 inches, okay, to be on the safer side. Then what I'm going to be doing now is to pin this like this. Then I'll go ahead and fold the remaining one into two. I just want to be sure that this will be enough for me to sew on my round sleeve. So remember, the depth of my sleeve was 11 inches. So what I have here is about 12 inches and half. So this is going to be enough for me to cut my round sleeve, for my round sleeve, all right? So I'll go ahead and cut it out like this. After cutting it, I will remove the pin. So after removing the pin, I'll go ahead and fold the ashoke into two like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Fold it into two. Then after folding it, I'll go ahead and iron it. So take your time to fold it and take your time to also iron it, as you can see me doing. So after I was done ironing it, what I'm going to be doing now is to go ahead and open it. So I'll just go ahead and open it like this. So I will just go ahead and pin it like this. So after pinning it, I will just go ahead and iron the down part like this. The reason why I actually went ahead to fold it into two was to get the middle. So I'll just go ahead and iron the down part like this, while I will leave the up part like that. The line is still showing, the gator line and iron is still showing. So I'll go ahead and pin it. Please pay attention to the next part I'm about to show you. Now this is my dress, right? So I'll go ahead and place my tape on the shoulder line like this. I will measure the depth of the neckline. So remember, the depth of the neckline I marked earlier was 9.5 inches. So I will mark 9.5 inches like this. Then I will place my tape at the middle of the back like this. I will measure it round to that 9.5 inches I marked. What I have here is about 13 inches. So I will come to my ashoke like this. I will place my tape on this closed part. I will place my tape like this. I will measure 30 inches downward. Then I'll go ahead and mark a point there. Then I will take this to the sewing machine. I will sew it from the middle here where I iron down to the hem of the neckline. Okay. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew it. After sewing it, this is how it looks like. Can you see it? So I will just go ahead and turn it like this. Please watch what I'm doing. Turn it like this. Then I'll go ahead and turn it like this. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just watch what I did. You will understand. After I was done turning it, this is how it looked like. As you can see, I will just go ahead and iron it like this. Then I also go ahead and iron the neckline like this. Okay. So after I was done ironing it, I will take this to the sewing machine. I will go ahead and stitch this part around like this. Just go ahead and stitch it around from the start to the other side. So after I was done stitching it, this is how it looked like. So I just wanted to open up my dress on my table. You can see that the wrong side is facing up. This is the journey part around the shoulder. So I will fold my neckline design to like this. I will notch the middle. Okay, I will notch the middle like this. So after notching it, I will make sure this part is facing up. Then I will place the neckline of the dress to the neckline of the neckline design. So make sure you are pinning the middle at the center back to the middle of the neckline design. I hope you guys understand. If you don't understand, watch what I'm doing. So I'll just go ahead and pin it around like this. When you are pinning it, please take your time. Take your time to pin it, because any single mistake you made around this part can affect how the neckline of your dress is going to look like. So after I was done pinning it, I will take it to the sewing machine. I will sew it with 1/2 inch from the down here to the middle at the back, then from the middle to the side and to the down. Okay, so guys, I have gone ahead to sew it. This is how it look like, but I'm seeing a little bit of puffiness around the down. So what I'm going to be doing now is to go ahead and lose one side around the down side like this. So I'll just go ahead and lose this part, as you can see me doing. So guys, I've gone ahead to lose it. After losing it, I did not sew it. So I'll just go ahead and iron it like this. Okay, I'll go ahead and iron it. As you can see, I've placed my ironing net on it. I'll just go ahead and iron it and fix the error. So this is just me arranging it. Can you see how I am arranging it? So as I'm arranging it, I'll be pinning it before I sew it. I'll just pin it down. Then I'll go ahead and fold in the down part. Can you see how I folded the down part inward? So just take your time and arrange it. Okay, pin it properly well, because if you make any mistake here, it's finished. So this is just me arranging it and pinning it. So once I was done folding it inward and arranging it, I will just go ahead and iron it, just like as you can see me doing. So I'll go ahead and raise this part upward a little. Can you see how I am raising it? So I'll just go ahead and raise it up. Then I will pin this part here again. So I'll just pin it. I will take it to the sewing machine and sew it, following the gator line, just like the same way I ironed it. That is how I'm going to be sewing it. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew it. After I was done sewing it, I will just go ahead and iron this side again. I love ironing. Okay, so I'll place my bust hem around the neckline. I'll go ahead and iron it. The reason why I want the ironing to be smooth, the reason why I want this area to be smooth is because I'm going to be top stitching on it. So I'll just press this down side a little. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is to lift the material up like this. Can you see how I am dragging it up little? Then I'll go ahead and pin it like this. Can you see? If you don't understand what I'm saying, watch what I just did, you will understand. Then I will take it to the sewing machine. I will stitch it down like this. I will sew through the gator line. Can you see the gator line? I will just sew through it. Okay, just be careful when you are raising it up. So once I'm done sewing on it, I'll go ahead and top stitch on the yellow material, on the yellow close to where I sew. I'll just go ahead and top stitch round. Okay, after I was done sewing it, I went ahead to top stitch on this part like this, on this side and also on this side round. So guys, the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to cut out the band for the sleeve. So I'll go ahead and fold this piece of ashoke I have left into two like this. So after folding it, I will go ahead and iron it like this. After I am done ironing it, I'll go ahead and cut through the middle. Okay, I'll just go ahead and cut through the middle like this. I will go ahead and separate it. Yes, I will separate it. Then I'll go ahead and measure the wideness of the band I want. So what I want is 2.5 inches. So I'll just go ahead and mark 2.5 inches like this. Then I'll connect the points together. If you want to make use of the remaining wideness, you can just go ahead and make use of everything. But for me, I don't want it to be too wide. So after connecting it, I'll go ahead and cut it out just like as you can see me doing. So after cutting it, I have two pieces here. So I'll go ahead and fold the edge like this inward by 1/2 inch. I'll just fold in 1/2 inch. Then I will iron it from the start to the end. Then I'll go ahead and fold in the other side like this. So whatever I do for this, that is what I'm also going to be doing for the other side. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut out the excess like this, excess around the down part of the neckline of the design. Please don't cut out everything, just cut out something small. Then I will turn it to the back. This is the shoulder and this is the sleeve. Okay, the wideness of the sleeve. Then I'll go ahead and place this one I just ironed on it. This part I iron in with 1/2 inch is going to be placed like this. The right side of the band will be facing the wrong side of the sleeve. Then I'll go ahead and sew it with 1/2 inch. I will sew through the gator line I ironed. So after sewing it, this is how it's going to look like. Just turn it to the front. Then I'll go ahead and top stitch on it. So after I was done top stitching on it, I will just turn it to the front side like this. Can you see what I did? If you don't understand, watch what I just did, you will understand it. Okay, I will turn it to the front of the material like this. Then I'll go ahead and top stitch around this part here. Okay, close to the edge. So once I'm done top stitching, I'll go ahead and cut out the excesses like this. I'll just go ahead and cut out the excess. Then I will iron it. After I am done ironing it, I'll go ahead and fold it into two like this. Then I will shape my dress with 1/2 inch. After shaping it, I will fold it down. So guys, I'm done sewing it. As you can see, I also wanted to make the black color of it. So if you know this tutorial was helpful, go ahead and like this video, comment on it. If you have any question, go ahead and ask, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of cutting and sewing tutorials. See you on my next video. Bye.